So guys, today we are going to take a look at the Open Championship winning golf swing of Francesco Molinari. He's obviously been on a great run of form this year, super consistent, always does very, very well on any of the sort of TrackMan combine tests, etc. So have a look at his golf swing and what is it in his golf swing that makes him so consistent, and what can you apply to your game. So having a look here at Francesco, so we've got an iron swing and a driver swing, okay? So first off, let's have a look at the iron swing from down the line. Okay, he's not a tall guy, so he stands to it really, really nice. He's a little bit taller in his address than some of the tall guys would be, but we can see his balance points are perfect here over the ball of his feet from his armpit line, and his pelvis, he hasn't done the traditional thing of trying to stick his bum out, so his back's not concaved in down here. His pelvis is at a nice neutral line. One thing that I see for smaller guys is that it's important that they do get into a nice strong posture and not getting stooped. So what we see here is in the first move away, excellent takeaway here. We see the right hand's very much on top of the club, okay? Club face maybe a fraction closed, but it's a really good strong first move away. Then he keeps that right hand on top, so we can see here at this point now that club face is matching the spine. He then takes this to the top, and that relationship between the right arm and the shaft is maintained all the way to that top of the backswing, okay? Right arm, it moves away from the body a tiny bit up in this direction here, but it's still in front of that right hip, which is key. What else he's got? He's got his arms just sat just slightly on top of the shoulder plane. So for me, looking at how well he moves, that must be that his arms are slightly longer than his height. So not quite pure Vitruvian man. Okay, having a look here with the driver. Okay, what we'll see is angled away from the target, okay, upper body leaning to the right, absolutely spot on to be getting that positive attack angle. So what we'll see here then is really good wind up. There's a bit of a shift over to the right, okay, so the hips do load over to the right a little bit for him here. So they're moving across now, really good wind up, but what he's doing is he's loading over that right side, full shoulder turn, arms in front of the body, and he's got some width, okay? What we'll then see is with the driver is we'll now see how he has this, what we'll class as a settling period. So the pelvis and the knee and the weight shifts back across, okay? But the thing that I really like is if we watch the gap here between the legs, okay? It isn't closing. If anything, it's slightly widening even here on this halfway down position. So what we'll see here when we have a look at the iron, okay, so it's like a rotational squat move that he's putting in. Arms are very much in front of the body, knees are back to square to one another, arms are out in front, okay, so this left arm is actually out in front of his foot line, okay, so what we'll then see is from here, superb rotation, but really, really quiet feet, okay. It's not massively open with the hips and shoulders, they're just a little bit open. The right arm is still bent, supporting the blow, okay. Left arm slightly above the right, but the big thing for me is that the body is open, okay, but it's not massively open like some of the modern young lads who are really, really getting open, but it's open and quiet feet, and everything is coming through together. We see here how the club rotates and goes low under the shoulders, and then he rotates all the way through into the left heel. So we have this settling period in here where those legs have separated, and then he starts to unwind. Okay, he's now moving around that left side. With the driver, he's a little bit more behind in it than on the iron. So the head's pushing up and back just a little bit. Okay, giving that upward blow. And on the, compared to with the iron, the left foot just moves about a little bit there. That's only because he's pushing backward to get the upward ascending blow. But the feet are still very quiet compared to a lot of golfers, and he rotates right through. Having quiet feet gives him a very stable club face. We don't see much change on the relationship of the club face relative to the arc through impact right here. Let's have a look at it one more time here with the iron, and we can see that club face is not crossing over much at all, so that toe is very quiet relative to the heel of the golf club. So this means that he will be very, very consistent in his delivery of the golf club. So we see there's a few takeouts there for Francesco. We see that he keeps the right hand on top a little bit in the backswing. We see how he's able to squat in that downswing, getting that separation, and then we see how quiet he is in the legs. So what we're going to do is have a look at a couple of those things and see how they can help you and what you can do to apply this to your practice and help you get more consistency. So going into Francesco's swing there, obviously amazing ball striker, really stable club face, amazing accuracy without compromising distance, which is obviously a big thing. Carnoustie is a long golf course. I know it was running, but it still isn't a short golf course. And he's won the PGA Tour this year and the BMW. So BMW is miles long. So he's obviously got accuracy and distance combination, supreme ball striker. But his putting's obviously also got great as well. But what can we take out of his golf swing? So first thing is, what we're looking at is, when he takes the club back, he does a phenomenal job of keeping that right hand on top here. So this right hand from this sort of angle is very much on top of the golf club here. He doesn't let it get open and behind him. If you're a guy who really struggles for control of the club face, if you roll the face here, you've got to roll it back again. That requires a lot of timing. So what Francesco does is keeps that on top and then maintains that relationship to the top. From here, as he gets the sort of squat move into here, as both thighs are now parallel, from there the right foot rolls and he just rotates through the shot, and that sort of quiet right foot through the ball helps match into that quiet club face. So the right hand on top is a huge thing for this. So what we would look at trying to do is, how can you apply this into your game? So we would want to sort of get the feeling, as we'd be set up over the ball here, of in this very first move, build it into a waggle to begin with, if you want to get that club face really stable moving back. So get the feeling of it being here, okay? So get that right hand on top, on the way there, then coming through. If I can get the feeling for that right hand staying very much on top here, it will really allow me to be quiet through the ball and not flip it over. To start off with, you might start missing a couple of shots to the left because your hands have been active, but it's a case of then just learning to be able to maintain that angle coming down as you're rotating through the shot. Let's give it a little go. So I'm going to, from here, get that feeling, right hand on top. So this is the feeling that I'm getting there, into that waggle, boom. So always try to keep moving with something like this because it gives you the feeling. So right hand's going to be on top right now. It's actually not a bad first effort in all fairness, a little bit clean in the stripe, but I'm sure I could very much get used to that. Had very, very little curvature on the golf ball there, so what I'd be wanting to do is really try and develop that first move, because if I can develop that, I can very much deliver the same loft. It's a great way for you to be able to play consistent golf, and it's just a different way of having a stable club face. Think about DJ and Brooks, they've got a bowed wrist and they maintain that angle, so does Jon Rahm. Francesco does a lot of stuff with that right hand and then very much has those arms working in front of his body, which is a key factor. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, comment below. Is the future sort of analysis you'd like to see? We're looking at obviously doing it every time we've got a major champion, but is there a player you'd like to see have an analysis of? If you have, comment below. We will make sure we get a couple of extra analysis on the channel for you guys. Comment below what you'd like to see. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Thanks for watching, and talk with you again very soon.